Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Comic Show with the first comic book roundup video of the year. For me. I'm sure someone's already beaten me to the punch for this week, but hey, the first for me. Like, that matters to some weird degree, right? Anyway, so, as the title suggests, we're going to be looking at this week's Avengers-related titles, starting with Avengers Tarot, number 1. So, this title takes place in, well, I would say probably, around the same era as a lot of the late 70s Avengers stories. So, we begin in France during the winter of 1944. The invaders, Captain America, Namor the Submariner, and Jim Hammond, the android Human Torch, discover a battle zone. Swift and totally unexpected attack. No evidence of weapons fire. No evidence of opposition, even. And revealed to be the work of none other than Oberfuhrer Occult, who is animating statues to fight for him. And so he animates some statues to fight our three heroes. And in the middle of this, Captain America hulks out. And once the fighting's over, Cap asks in his torn uniform what happened. And Namor explains to him he destroyed the statues. And he was green. We fade in, now fade out to the present, to decades later in Arizona. Apparently, Namor, with the rest of the defenders, kind of spaced out a bit, so he was momentarily distracted. And it seems someone has put similar runes to the ones used by the Oberfuhrer on a bunch of regular people, and captured Doctor Strange. And so the defenders go in to save the day. Apparently, what it is that is being used to enslave this town is known as the Infernal Ichor of Ishizog. And the magician, Cyrus Black, well, he didn't realize how easy his capture of Doctor Strange was. And so, Black is defeated. Strange takes the Ichor, but it turns out not all of it is there. There's still a little bit left at the Avengers Mansion. So the defenders head there and arrive just in time to see the Vision attacking Iron Man. With Scarlet Witch being the one to actually stop him. And she is aware of the Dark Ichor as well, and offers to take Doctor Strange to the Sword of Confinement chamber at the mansion. Silver Surfer helps Iron Man take Vision down to his lab so Iron Man can figure out what's going on, what's wrong with Vision. Thor enlists the aid of Valkyrie and Thor or Valkyrie and Hulk in temporarily repairing the mansion. However, the Surfer notices something off with Iron Man. The fact that he's acting rather cold towards his friend and teammate, the Vision. And Namor tells Captain America of the vision he had, and well, it turns out there's no record of it if you're a cult or anyone named a cult. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange is trying to find the Icor, though seems to be hiding. However, him and Scarlet Witch run into none other than Diablo, who explains that Doctor Strange walked right into a trap, as he is controlled as the Vision didn't turn evil, but rather he knew that the Avengers were being controlled by an outside force and sought to stop them, which is why he had to be stopped himself. And we see a quick montage of Captain America knocking out Namor with his shield, Thor taking down both Hulk and Valkyrie, and Iron Man incapacitating the Silver Surfer. However, there's one more magic control card, I guess would be a good way to put it, that Diablo has, and he has just finished making it. In the image of none other than Doctor Strange. And he then tells Doctor Strange to hand over the Icor. And that is where the issue ends. An interesting setup, to be sure. Moving on to Web of Black Widow, number 5. Final issue of the miniseries. So, where we left off, seemingly, in the top, Black Widow was being framed for murder, and most people, it seemed like most of her allies were willing to believe she was the one committing the murders. However, Hawkeye had just been incapacitated. Hawkeye, after having shot Widow with an arrow, had been incapacitated by the real mastermind, the real culprit. The woman who tripped Anya, a Red Room recruit once known as the Headmistress. And it seems as though Anya has Black Widow right where she wants her. It turns out Anya's been watching for a while. She had a special virus made just for her, designed to block her access to implanted memories. A delayed reaction so that the memory transfer to her new body would appear to be a success. And she had, in fact, wished to erase every last bit of Natasha from the world, but apparently this is but Anya decides that what she's doing is much more satisfying. Watching Natasha lose her friends, her reputation, and now herself. However, it turns out that, well, Black Widow's got some tricks up her sleeve. And she's been transmitting the entire conversation with Anya to Iron Man. And while, yes, Hawkeye did get shot, he's still alive. Also coming, apparently, The two, Natasha has known she's being watched since day one. And she's been watching, well, the Watcher. So, she privately explains to Stark what was going on. Then the Winter Soldier comes in. Him and Widow having, buried the hatchet. Yelena Belova then comes in, also, at Natasha's side. And it's not too heavy being dropped out a window. And so, but Black Widow explains she did the one thing that Anya would never expect. She trusted her friends. So, Black Widow goes after Anya, honestly wanting her to herself. The fight goes quite well, however, there is the fact that, yes, Natasha is injured. She did take an arrow. She actually did get shot with an arrow. However, there's one more friend that's come to help Natasha. Steve Rogers knocks out Anya with his shield. And Natasha finishes the job. And then Tony helps basically fix Natasha's memory so that the missing details are no longer missing. And seemingly, all is well with the world. And that is where the issue and the series comes to its end. Next up, we've got Hawkeye Freefall, #1. So, where we last saw Hawkeye, aside from Web of Black Widow, was absolute carnage. He had come to New York at the behest of of Captain America after, and because of his own involvement with the symbiote previously. Apparently, he decided to stick around in New York. The issue begins in one of New York's many sketchy warehouses in Mott Haven. A meeting's been called. Basically, you get a bunch of just, the average run-of-the-mill would-be henchmen. It's been called by the Hood, however. Hawkeye's narrating the whole thing, explaining that there are a lot of reasons people do stupid things. Some people get caught up with a bad crowd. Some get desperate. Some people just love the thrill of it. Some don't know what else to do. Oh, hey, it's me. And some people do stupid things because they think they are untouchable. The Hood, Parker Roberts, being one of those people. And he now kind of... I never even thought of the Robin Hood thing with the Hood. If he was, maybe a steal from rich groups, attack the rich, help the poor type of character, maybe. But he's just a criminal wearing a hooded cloak, so yeah. And so, him and Hawkeye duke it out. Cops show up. A bunch of the would-be henchmen are sent to prison. However, turns out that the mayor has ordered the release of Robbins. So Clint goes to shout at Robbins' limo, and Hood actually lets him in, and they talk. Well, threaten one another, and the demon related to the demon attached to the cloak that Robbins wears comes out briefly. Well, so Hawkeye goes home for the night to his girlfriend, the night nurse. And while they're having some couples time, well, Hawkeye's an idiot. Always remember that. And he even admits it. Seriously, the book's constant self-deprecating narration from Hawkeye is great. The next night, on the creepy stretch of the West Side Highway, someone attacks a bunch of government contractors. Apparently, it's Ronin, a former identity held by Hawkeye, among others. So the next morning, while Hawkeye's enjoying breakfast at a cafe, Winter Soldier and the Falcon come to see him. Shay's showing the pictures of Ronin. And they make it pretty clear they think he did it. But explaining that, Red Guardian is out of the country. The people attack her in vampires, so it's not Blade. And this Ronin doesn't look like a woman, so they're going to rule out Echo. So they decided to join Clint on his stakeout involving the Hood that night. And when things go south, well, it turns out that the Hood is busy taking on the Ronin is busy taking on the Hood's henchman, and makes a fool of Hawkeye, Winter Soldier, and Falcon. But on the plus side, he's got Winter Soldier and Falcon now, knowing it. Yeah, it definitely was not him. And that's where the issue ends. It's a good start. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this. So, next up we've got Thor #1, which we've had a few Thor #1s just in the last few years. So, anyway. However, one thing that makes this a little bit different from those is we've got an entirely new creative team. The last few Thor titles have been written by Jason Aaron, who's currently writing the Avengers, and who wrote this past year's War of the Realms. This, however, is being written by now former Guardians of the Galaxy scribe and current Venom scribe, Donny Cates. So we begin with Mjolnir hurtling through the realms. And low in the darkness there was thunder, and racing behind it the roaring voice of a god-made king. Hear me, his testament begins. The old king is gone. His words soar across the heavens of Vanaheim. For the Vanir, the sisters of Asgard, it is a humming sound of peace. And here, too, in the skies of Alfheim, a rumbling decree of a war well fought. The light elves cheer and weep that darkness may never touch their bright shores again. In the dark fields of Nidavellir, the dwarves sing and drink as Mjolnir the Smasher rumbles for them as well. And in Jotunheim, the frost giants feel, for the first time in a long time, a biting chill run down their backs. The message is the same for all to hear. Even the hottest pit of damnation in Muspelheim, the demons hear over the wail of eternal flames. We have all of us warred enough for 1,000 lifetimes, the hammer speaks. Its voice resounds across Vartalheim, across the beaten ears of wound-looking dark elves. Enough blood has been spilled of the 10 realms, enough death. From the rose-tinted rainstorms of heaven to the deepest hollows of Nibelheim. It ends now. It ends forever. It ends with me. So hear this, realms of the world at. For I shall say it only once. Let there be peace. Or let there be thunder. And the hammer arrives on Earth, crashing through the head of a giant monster that the Avengers are fighting. Or before it's sent back, Iron Man decides to leave a message for Thor on it. And so, at Asgard, on the Rainbow Bridge, the hammer returns to Thor. Mjolnir returns to Thor. We learn that Sif is now the keeper of the Rainbow Bridge. And Tony wrote on the hammer, "Nice shot. Enjoy your retirement." And so, sitting on his throne, Volstagg brings some issues to his way about an upcoming feast. And, however, Thor sends him away, and here's another guest, Loki. Though Loki notes that Mjolnir appears to be getting heavier. Thor is having trouble lifting it. And he brings this up, actually brotherly way. It's basically, I don't recall you ever grunting when you used to pick it up. And so Thor goes out to address his people. However, before he can begin his speech, Galactus crashes down into Asgard. Thor goes after him, discovers that Galactus didn't come here to attack Asgard. He came here for aid. However, Volstagg notes something odd. Ever since Galactus' arrival, Yggdrasil, the World Ash, the Tree of Life, has begun to die. And so, the various heralds of Galactus are summoned forth to Asgard so that Thor can talk to them and ask what the Black Winter is, the Star Plague. The Silver Surfer, however, who knows? It was apparently the end of everything. They talk about who Galactus was before he was Galactus. An interstellar explorer by the name of Galen from the planet Ta in the universe that existed before this one. And it turns out the cataclysm that destroyed Galen's home universe was the Star Plague, also known as the Blight Storm and the Rot Blizzard, and the Black Winter. The Surfer explains there are a handful of planets which he's kept secret from Galactus. If they were revealed to him, if he were to consume one of them, they would give Galactus powers beyond imagination. And so Surfer agrees to take Galactus to these planets. Thor, however, is taking some warriors with him, basically so they can evacuate said planets. Surfer and Galactus talk briefly. However, he explains that when you gaze into the Star Plague, you see the form of your own true death. And he says he gazed into it twice. The first time he saw nothing. So it appeared to him as a great blackness. This time, when he looked into it, however, he saw as the embodiment of his one true death. He saw Thor. And Galactus explains that he don't come here to Asgard for asylum. But if Thor is to be his end, then they will kill the Black Winter together. And when they are done, they will have words. And so Galactus makes Thor the Herald of Thunder. An interesting start. The non-variant covers, sadly, sold through very quickly at the shop I go to. Anyways, that's it for this video. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long, rock hard. Once again, Happy New Year.